If you feel like you are really struggling to release your circumstances, you keep focusing on things outside of you, I want to inform you, educate you on how this whole reality creation thing works. Because there's a lot of talk about quantum physics, there's a lot of talk about the universal laws, but at the end of the day, there's an actual science behind how you and how everyone processes reality. Everybody has a different internal representation system. And when you realize that everything that's going on outside of you is just information, and we all consume that information in a different way, and we perceive it in a different way based on our internal representation system and based on our neurological conditionings. Now, when you understand that, and that might be a lot of science terminology, but I think we're ready. I think we're ready to go here as the collective. We're ready. So the way your internal representation system works is everybody's mind. It doesn't matter which internal representation system you just have a unique one. Everybody's mind consumes the information in 3 different ways. It will generalize the information first, and then it will distort or delete the information. So what does that mean? It means that you have created rules that you are running your life by. These rules are essentially a script. Think about it like a computer. A computer runs off of scripts. It runs off of programs. What was installed in you from 0 to 7, because that's when your brain is programmed, ends up becoming a script, ends up becoming a belief, ends up becoming a generalization that your reality is filtered through. So everything that you are experiencing in your reality, you are only actually getting information to prove that you are right, because it is one of the prime directives of your mind. So the beliefs that you have in your mind are actually always going to get proven to be true. So what that means is your mind is constantly looking for evidence to make those beliefs right. So every time there's evidence in your external reality that your belief is right, whether you want it to be or not, it's a subconscious belief. This is not anything about your conscious mind. And I feel like a lot of the manifestation content, especially on TikTok, is talking about you consciously rewiring your mind, and that's requiring a lot more effort and dedication and time. That's working harder and not smarter in manifestation. What you have to understand is whether you want to have the belief or not, it's installed in you. And what your brain does is it generalizes the information. So it looks at and scans all of the information outside of you, and it generalizes it to make sure that those beliefs that you have are right, and the evidence that you're experiencing is a direct indication of your beliefs. If the information that your brain is perceiving is contradicting the beliefs that you have in your mind, your brain then either deletes the information so that way you don't see it, because that's not part of your reality, because it's not a belief. So your brain is always designed to make you right. So because that information would technically make you wrong, you're not going to see it, or it's going to distort that information so that way it can support your belief, the generalization that you've already installed in your brain. So what I mean by all of this is the evidence that you are receiving outside of you is a clear indication of the beliefs that you have. And I see a lot of creators telling you to ignore the reality and just persist. And that's fucking bullshit, because we have to understand the neuroscience of your mind. You have to understand the neuro-linguistic programming of your mind, because that's filtered into reality creation. The evidence that you are seeing is proof of the beliefs that you have. And the beliefs that you have are going to dictate the behaviors that you have, which will dictate the results. It's one big cyclical circle. And when you understand this, it would make no fucking sense for you to ignore what's going on outside of you, because what's going on outside of you is clearly indicating the beliefs that you have. Whether you want to believe that or not, it's true. You have an unconscious belief that is creating the evidence that you're getting. If you don't like the evidence that you're getting, you need to reinstall a new belief into your brain. And this isn't through affirmations. Again, that's working harder and not smarter. This is through learning how to communicate with your unconscious mind, and your unconscious mind speaks in sensory input. And the sensory input is what is installed in your brain as a belief. If you want to know how to install new beliefs in your mind, get into my Reprogram Yourself challenge, because I am literally teaching you every single tool that you would ever need and that you could ever use use to instantaneously reprogram your mind to install new beliefs. You can come back to these and use them throughout your entire life for various beliefs. But when you learn to actually communicate with your unconscious mind, which doesn't speak English, then you are able to very, very quickly transform your life. And when you change your belief, that's going to change the action that you take. It's going to change the behaviors that you have, and it's going to end up changing the results. But at the end of the day, your beliefs are creating your results and creating the evidence that you're seeing. So do not ignore the evidence. Use the evidence as feedback of what your beliefs are, and then install new beliefs using neuro-linguistic programming.